remember the first time you did USA's? Like 2010 in Vegas?
Yeah, it was my first national show.
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
Do I ever remember that? God.
That was my first time to Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, it wasn't my first time to Vegas, but it was definitely my first national show, so I was ready to get turned.
Oh, one of my favorite stories, I was telling this to your brother the other day, was when in LA, we went to Venice Beach the day after your show. And I was like, let's just walk up and down Venice Beach.
This was so annoying. It just pissed me off.
And you're like, I don't want to walk up and down Venice Beach with this freaky tan. I was like, it's Venice Beach. Like, everyone there is weird. No one's going to make fun of you.
I was like, no, I don't want to walk. I'm in my swimsuit. Like, I just want to just, like, stay away from it. I just want to stay chill. I know people are going to be staring at me.
And no shit. You took your clothes off. We were just going to walk up and...
freaking steps.
We were going to walk up and down the beach in our bathing suits. And you didn't go 10 feet. And that guy was like, hey, you look like a Cheeto.
It was awful.
You were like, I told you. I told you.
I think I just flipped him off and we just kept walking.
Yeah, it was a good day still.
My favorite competition memory is probably, Vegas is one of them, but Charleston, South Carolina. I think that was Junior USA's, the first year. And my dad was there, which my dad was at USA's too.
Oh yeah.
He was at every show before I turned pro. And even in some of those shows, but this one specifically. But we were...
Your dad should be mayor of Charleston.
Oh my God. We went out, but like out in Charleston is not... It's not
excess.
It's not Vegas at all. I felt like everywhere we went was like at a fraternity house or something. Like it was like a weird.
It's a pretty fratty town in general.
Yeah, but him and then Nola was there again.
Yeah. We went out with some of those guys that Crystal met, and they had like a table at whatever bar we were at, and then we ended up at Denny's.
Oh God, yeah.
And there's some funny videos from Denny's, but I mean, as usual, you ate and drank far too much.
All I know is that I ate so damn much that I was freaking that was the most sick I've ever been after a show.
Yeah, you were still pretty early in competing and you didn't really know how to pace yourself.
I didn't know how to pace myself, and I was just eating anything and everything. We went out to eat, well, first we go out to eat, then we go out drinking, then we go to Denny or IHOP for post partying, and then I go back to the hotel and start snacking. But then by that time, we get back and I'm just so sick. I'm like hurting, and I'm like, babe, I think I need some water. Like, I feel so nauseous.
And I was just like, you need to quit putting things in your mouth. Nothing else goes in. Nothing is going to solve it by you eating or drinking anything else. You got to just shut it down.
But it's when you're so full and you're just like, I just need to, like, you just feel so nauseous and
shut
sick.
It off. Just close it down. Close your mouth for the night.
Alright guys, so I am very excited. As all of you know, I have decided to compete, and I am really excited to announce which show that it is. I've been getting so many questions on what it is, when, and I decided on the San Antonio Pro, October 7th. And I'm really excited too because Greg is going to be doing it with me. And so we had kind of been wanting to do another show together. We did actually it was my first pro show ever we did together, and that was the one and only show that we did, and we wanted to do another one, so we decided, you know, with the right timeline, with preparing for the show and being, you know, not hurting myself to get down to it. We decided that the San Antonio would be good. It's in our home state, so represent Texas NPC and IFBB, so that was really cool. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm currently 4.5 weeks out right now. So I have been prepping for this entire time, and we decided, you know, that would be the best one, and I'm ready to get on stage and ready to represent.
There you go.
Thank you.
No card. There you go.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
I gotta take a picture.
There you go. Make me wait. Not allowed to touch before we get the perfect shot.
Oh, wait. Nope. Nope. It was too high.
All right, so we're doing the same show.
Yep.
How do you think that's gonna go?
Well, it's already going good.
Yeah.
I mean, considering we're 4.5 weeks out, and we've been surviving. But I do know this is where the tough shit happens, when that crunch time starts happening, you know? But it's not like it's totally different now, you know? Like, we've been through it all.
I'm not worried about it. I mean, the first time we did it, the only reason it was stressful for me was because I was doing it, you were doing it, and I had 10 clients. So like just me and you is like a breeze compared to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 12 people that needed my undivided attention. That was a bad plan from the start.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, that was our whole decision with getting with Kim from the get-go, was so that we could take ourselves out of it. So you just have to focus on you, and you still focus on me and help me with all this stuff. But
Yeah, and I think we got the like whole travel thing and packing food and all the kind of logistics down so good that it's pretty second nature.
I got that shit down to a science.
Yeah.
If I can compete overseas, like
San Antonio is no problem.
San Antonio is a breeze as far as packing and bringing everything. I'm really excited to see you get back on stage too, though, because I mean, it's just, for one, you haven't competed in forever either, but I mean, I don't know, that competing, NPC, all this, like, that's us. That's how we met. That's how we got started. Even to be a couple, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just fun to go back, and kind of brings up old memories and those fun beginning times of even just us dating and, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely nostalgic. So everyone's been asking you to explain what was so hard about it, like from the first episode.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of questions from episode 1 on, you know, it was so tough mentally, and how Greg kept saying, you know, I'm more worried about her happiness, and really what that means, or what we're talking about, is because, you know, I've been competing since 2010. 2010 was my first show ever. And I did minimum 4 shows a year for 6 consecutive years. The most shows I had ever done was 8 in 1 year. That is non-stop competition, prepping. That's traveling and being on a contest prep brain, and no food. And I mean, when I say no food, I mean, I just mean, like, you know, not enjoying like all the festivities that come along with that, like birthdays or get-togethers or family get-togethers or holidays. I missed out on a lot of that for so long. So that takes a toll. And then on top of that, for being in contest shape for so long.
But I think
developed.
we should defend it like a little bit, because maybe we didn't. It sounded too harsh. I think I mean, I don't think going out to dinner, eating birthday cake isn't what makes you happy. You were sacrificing that to do what made you happy. So there was certainly a trade-off, and we made that decision, and I think it was a good one. I don't think we regret it at all.
No, absolutely.
You were trading off those times for something that made you happy. So it's not like I'm unhappy because I can't go eat tacos on Tuesday. That's not, if that makes you happy, then that's not a big if that's your thing, that's cool. But for you you wanted something more, and it had to sacrifice some things.
No, absolutely. And that's what I wanted to say was I'm just saying that does take a toll.
But it adds up.
Yeah, that does take a toll. And so, but for me, ultimately, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because I had a goal. I wanted to compete because I loved competing and being competitive, it's just in my blood, and being on stage. And I had goals of becoming pro and becoming a top pro. I didn't want to just become a pro and be okay, that's it. I wanted to be one of the best, and so I did what it took to do that. So I did that sacrifice on my own. But yes, all those times do take a toll, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what took the most toll on me was that, I created this, almost, I hate, it sounds like a harsh word, but I don't really know any other way to describe it, but I had created for myself a sense of body dysmorphia. I did not see myself for what it was at all. I could literally look in the mirror and think that I was not okay. As in, I didn't look good, I didn't like the way that I looked, and I was very unhappy with the way I looked.
And you should clarify, it was not I don't match the criteria. We're talking of course you were never happy leading up to the show with the way you look, because you never thought you were tight enough here, big enough there, or whatever. But that's kind of normal, because that's your craft. But I think where it reached the unhealthy part was afterwards, where you would only gain 5 or 6 pounds, which is very healthy weight. But you felt oh, I blew it, I'm off the bandwagon, I'm so fat. And it's just I would remember telling you you're one of the top 10 best bodies in the world, and you're crying about the way you look. This is not okay.
Yeah, I wasn't okay, but being and looking at yourself for so long like that, it becomes normal, you're supposed to look like that. And it's not, I want to clarify too, that it's not the sport. It's not the league, it's not the sport. It's, what comes with it, and the unhealthiness that comes with it is the over-excessiveness of it, the over-competing, and the, not letting yourself, have that time off to kind of get your bearings and really know and have your reality of who you are and what you look like and what is normal and what is not normal. Because you have to look a certain way for stage, and that's normal. That's fine. But you don't always have to look like that.
Yeah, it takes a lot to have that mental toughness, and you can't take a victim's mentality. It's the sport didn't turn you crazy.
No,
the sport was here. You showed up, got crazy, and left and played the sport.
Exactly.
It's been the same forever.
It's all part of it, But
that's
it's
part of getting judged, based on the way you look. You have to have a certain mental toughness. It's certainly easier for guys than girls.
Yeah, it's tough. As a woman, you want to always look good. You want to feel good. And I got to that point in my own head where I didn't like the way I looked. If I wasn't stage ready, if I wasn't nearly just, peak week, I wasn't happy. I would cry. I never, ever weighed myself. Ever. Nor do I now. Because I don't want to go back to that. I don't want that number to just...
You fixate on it.
I do. And I know that about myself, so I choose to not do that to myself. I choose to not look at it because that ultimately doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you weigh on stage. We're not bodybuilders. Bikini girls are not bodybuilders. You don't have to weigh in. But for me, I use it too much. Like, oh my gosh, I went up half a pound and my whole world was turned upside down. And I don't want to fixate on that. And that is what I used to do. And that's what I've not been doing. And I've been enjoying prep and everything so far so much better. I never enjoyed the process. I was always so fixated on, am I going to look the way that I'm supposed to? And not worried about going in there and doing what I love most, and that's killing my workouts and then going and having fun on stage. And I feel like that's already totally different.
Yeah, so I think, taking the break, refreshed you, gave you new energy, but more importantly, gave you perspective, so you can do this and have fun, and do it with a healthy outlook. And so far, so good. I mean, you've been kind of dieting for 8-9 weeks now.
Yeah.
And it's been great. I mean,
Yeah.
You get tired here and there, but your attitude has been awesome.
I just, I'm finally excited to, see changes. I'm excited about the changes. I'm not fixated on the changes in my physique and getting back on stage. And I'm excited about the goal.
Yeah.
Ew. So San Antonio, right?
Good place
River walk.
to leave a stage and be hungry.
Mexican food times 5,000.
Yeah, Tex-Mex, capital of the world, maybe.
Man, we have to find a Mexican food. I want to eat on the river walk.
Yeah, of course. I want tacos, endless tacos.
I want a big swirl margarita.
Yeah.
Chips and salsa. Guac.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Queso. White queso. White queso has to be.
Yep. We'll find something good. Let's keep that in our heads. Eye on the prize.